Amid an ongoing standoff in Ladakh, India and China are set to hold the core commander level talks in next 2-3 days. Sources say that India is likely to press for simultaneous disengagement and the de-escalation by Chinese side in the eastern Ladakh sector during top-level military talks. Now, agenda. Issues to be raised by the Indian side in this scheduled meeting were discussed and finalized during a high-level meeting yesterday. The meeting was attended by Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, National Security Advisor Ajit Doval and Chief of Defence Staff Bipin Rawat. So far, India and China have held 5 rounds of military talks to diffuse ongoing tensions in Ladakh, but they failed to lead the complete disengagement. And connected to that as well is the situation on the ground. In Ladakh, it is still volatile, still grim and razor's edge. Indian Army is in state of full operational preparedness and the Air Force also is in top gear, carrying out sorties. And getting you that ground report, Sandeep Unithan.
With a roar, a beast returns to base. An Indian Air Force MiG-29 fighter jet arriving back at the Leh Air Base after a mission over Ladakh. The roar of its twin engines, now a signature sound in this stretch of the Himalayas. And here's a Mirage 2000. In a low pass over the Leh airfield before climbing out for its next mission. On the ground, a pair of formidably armed Apache helicopters lifts off. They have their own prowling to do in airspace close to the standoff zone. As winter arrives and Indian Army troops consolidate their positions at dominant heights across the standoff zone, the Indian Air Force is in top gear for both offensive and defensive air operations. Military preparedness in Ladakh has been high for nearly 5 months now. But since the end of August, the tempo of missions has hit a record high. As you can see from these images, the Indian Armed Forces aren't waiting for China to make a move. They're fully prepared for any eventuality. But China's stubborn refusal to confirm dates for an agreed round of military talks has spurred suspense and added to uncertainties in eastern Ladakh. If you're wondering about the recently inducted Indian Air Force Rafale fighters, India today can confirm to you that the jets have been flying periodic missions over Ladakh. The Indian Air Force chief had dropped a major hint about the aircraft's readiness at the induction ceremony in Ambala recently.
They have already flown and familiarized with our operational environment and have undergone intense integrated training with our other combat fleets, including firing of advanced weapons. And I expect the golden arrows to intimidate and dominate whenever and wherever employed.
In a scenario unique to the Indian Air Force and representative of its arsenal, air power in Ladakh stands represented by both one of the oldest fighter types in service, the MiG-21, and the newest, the Rafale. Super high altitude, super cold weather, no deterrent to the tempo of air operations.
A clear day over Leh today, but war clouds looming large in Ladakh. Mirage 2000 fighter jets, MiG-29 air superiority fighters and Su-30s have been carrying out a number of sorties. The army is extensively deployed and increasing numbers along the line of actual control to keep an eye on an extremely belligerent and untrustworthy China. coupled with this is the fact that China appears reluctant to return to the dialogue table. What is the dragon planning? Is there more deceit in store? With Sandeep Unnithan and cameraman Kripal Singh in Leh, Gaurav Sawant for India Today.
And the investigation into the sandalwood industry, which is the Kannada film industry also as it is called, the drug racket case there is only escalating with more actors and kin of netas now under lens. Bengaluru Central Crime Branch has now summoned 2 more actors and son of former Congress MLA in connection with the drug racket today. Those summoned include Akul Balaji, actor and host Santosh Kumar, actor and Kannada Bigg Boss participant Yuvraj, who's the son of former Congress MLA R.V. Devaraj. All 3 have been summoned by the Bengaluru Central Crime Branch at about 10 a.m. This as actors Ragini and Sanjana remain still in prison in the case. Also, their bail plea will be heard today. Apart from the duo, 2 more actors, Digant and Aindrita, remember, are still under scanner and have been questioned earlier. However, former Minister Jivaraj Alva's son, Aditya Alva, continues to remain untraceable. He's accused number 6 as mentioned in the drug racket allegations and has been missing since the 4th of September. Aditya is also the brother-in-law of actor Vivek Oberoi.
Sandalwood drug scandal is now exploding. 2 more actors are now in the net of the Crime Control Bureau. Akul Balaji, actor and host, and Santosh Kumar, an actor who has participated in the Kannada edition of Bigg Boss, have been summoned to appear before the CCB on Saturday. Yuvraj R.V., son of former Congress MLA R.V. Devaraj, has also been called. Meanwhile, actor Ragini Dwivedi continues to be in jail. So does Sanjana Galrani, whose custody has been adjourned till 19th of September. Raids conducted on Sanjana's residence revealed a lot of digital evidence. Police recovered several mobile phones, a hard disk, a laptop and a power bank. The crime branch later questioned Sanjana on the digital devices recovered from her residence. The police said that the actor didn't use a SIM card on few phones but was using a Wi-Fi connection to operate them. But as trouble mounts for actors and celebrities, those with political links appear to be evading the cops. For 14 days now, Aditya Alva, accused number 6 in the Bengaluru drug case, has been absconding. Are those with political links being shielded? And while actors are summoned and jailed, what about the big fish? With Nagarjun Dwarkanath and Nolan Pinto in Bengaluru, Bureau Report, India Today.
All India Institute of Medical Sciences team is all set to submit the Viscera report of Sushant Singh Rajput's case by next week. This comes after the forensic team's extensive study that has been done with different reports. But before the final report, AIIMS forensic team will also sit with CBI's Special Investigation Team, the SIT, and understand the results more about the dummy trial during recreation of the scene at the apartment in Bandra. Sources add to India Today that the forensic team of AIIMS studied the ligature mark found on Sushant's neck. AIIMS team also wants to know if Sushant Singh Rajput could have moved away or if someone else tied the noose around his neck. So if there was a foul play happened at all. The forensic team is also investigating the antemortem and postmortem reports. Antemortem refers to injuries that have taken place, possibly before a person's death, whereas postmortem refers to injuries that have taken place after a person's death. But beyond the death, remember, it's the drug angle that has gained and become perhaps the most widened angle for investigators. A top suspected peddler has now been nabbed. Agencies are claiming he used to supply drugs to major celebrities in the film industry. Riya Chakrabarti and her brother Shawik, meanwhile, are still in custody for their alleged links. Take a look.
A new video of the late actor with Riya Chakrabarti is intriguing probe agencies. In the video, Sushant is seen drawing a flowchart on a whiteboard. Among other things, he has written on the board his and Riya's name and another person, Anu Kapoor. An unidentified person is present in the frame. Agencies still hunting for clues in the Sushant Singh death probe are now trying to decipher what the actor was trying to explain in this video. Who is Anu Kapoor? And who was the third person in the video. But the probe into Sushant's death is now more focused on the drugs angle. India Today has learned that the Narcotics Control Bureau has come across another actress's name during investigations. The actress was present at Sushant's Pavna Lake House party on March 28 to celebrate the film Chichore. The NCB has found out that huge amount of drugs were available at the party. A boatman who had ferried Sushant and his group on the lake has named Sara Ali Khan and Shraddha Kapoor as being there. The boatman claimed he saw drugs being consumed. The NCB on Thursday also detained a drug peddler, Rahil Vishram, who has direct contact with Riya's brother, Shouvik Chakrabarti. Contraband was found on Rahil. Rahil also has links with Anuj Keswani and Kezan, two arrested drug dealers. The agencies conducted raids at Rahil's house in Mumbai and at another place in Powai. Meanwhile, more drug chats related to Riya Chakrabarti's brother, Shouvik, have been accessed by India Today. These chats are from 18th of May this year and were exchanges between Anuj Keswani and Shouvik. Both were talking about the delivery of drugs. While there is virtually little headway in the Sushant death probe, the drug investigation is only getting bigger. With Arvind Ojha and Divyesh Singh in Mumbai, Bureau Report, India Today.
And it is now the face-off over the farmer bills that is escalating, and that bill, remember, passed by the Lok Sabha. Amid widespread protest, Prime Minister Narendra Modi accused opposition of misleading farmers. The centre says the farmers will be able to get a better price for their produce and the minimum support price procurement system will continue. Take a look at this report for what's been happening in the farm sector with regard to politics.
अब ये दुष्प्रचार किया जा रहा है कि सरकार के द्वारा किसानों को एमएसपी का लाभ नहीं दिया जाएगा। ये भी मनगढ़ंत बातें कही जा रही हैं कि किसानों से धान, गेहूं इत्यादि की खरीद सरकार द्वारा नहीं की जाएगी।
A day after Union Minister Harsimrat Kaur Badal's resignation from the Union government, the Prime Minister makes a passionate appeal. But Prime Minister Modi's words have no impact on farmer protests that continue to swell in North India. The anger among farmers over the 3 new farm bills passed by the Lok Sabha is turning into a serious law and order situation. Farmer unions have threatened to block rail and road connectivity. In the epicenter Punjab, a farmer attempted suicide by consuming poison in Badal village of Muktsar district.
किसानों को बिल्कुल झूठ बोल कर गुमराह कर दिया इन्होंने। बिल्कुल पूरी तरह से पूंजीपतियों को बढ़ावा देने के लिए इन्होंने पूरा स्टॉक करने की इजाजत दे दी है।
पंजाब में 25,000 आड़तियां है, उसके साथ लगभग 12,50,000 लेबर काम करती है। ये सभी बेरोजगार हो जाएंगे।
बड़ी कंपनियां जमीन सारी ले लेगी तो किसान को अपनी खेती होते हुए भी अपनी खेती में मजदूर की तरह काम करना पड़ेगा और अपनी गरीबी में बढ़ोतरी हो जाएगी।
The new farm bills have ignited fresh hope of opposition unity. The Congress is wooing prominent regional parties to defeat the bills in the Rajya Sabha.
कुरुक्षेत्र के युद्ध में, इस धर्म युद्ध में सेनाएं आमने सामने खड़ी है। कौरव नरेंद्र मोदी सरकार है, पांडव इस देश का किसान और खेत मजदूर है। कांग्रेस उस किसान के साथ पांडवों के पाले में खड़ी है।
The government is confident of its numbers in the Rajya Sabha and is focusing on reassuring farmers.
एमएसपी पर भारत सरकार खरीद करती थी, खरीद करती है और आने वाले कल में भी खरीद करती रहेगी। इस बिल का जो लोग विरोध कर रहे हैं उनको बिल पढ़ना चाहिए और अगर वो किसान के पक्षों को देखकर बिल को देखेंगे तो किसान का हित उनको दिखाई देगा।
The BJP also released a copy of the 2019 Congress Party manifesto, which had promised to repeal the APMC Act. The Congress shot back, saying it had promised to set up small farmer markets close to villages.
Farmer protests are spreading like a wildfire from Punjab to Western Uttar Pradesh, and this has given the Congress Party an opportunity to unite the opposition against NDA in the Rajya Sabha where the bills are taken up. All eyes will be on the non-aligned parties like the Samajwadi Party, BSP, TRS and YSRCP. With camera person Ashwini Helen, this is Anand Patel in New Delhi for India Today.
A massive controversy has erupted over the death of a coronavirus patient in a hospital at Rajkot district in Gujarat. A video there of a man lying on the hospital floor surrounded by two security personnel carrying sticks. The video also shows, take a look at that, a PPE-clad hospital staffers beside the 38-year-old patient. The family has alleged patient was assaulted by the hospital staff. The family has also alleged that the body of the deceased was handed over to a relative, which is against protocol. On the other hand, the hospital authorities claim that the patient was mentally ill. Let's now move to the state of West Bengal, where artisans are facing severe economic issues due to the COVID-19 pandemic and in the time of an upcoming festive season. Artisans in the city of Kolkata are staring at losses after a fall in the selling price and the overall sales during festivities. Take a look at the special report.
Karthik Pal is busy finishing the Durga idols in his studio. It is Mahalaya already and he has to deliver the idols in a month. Pal says this year's Durga Puja will be like none other. Overall economic stagnation and continuing COVID pandemic means festivities will be extremely low-key this year.
Maximum শিল্পীরা তাদের হাতে টাকা নেই এই আমপান ঝড়ে ক্ষতিগ্রস্ত হয়েছে সরকারের কাছে আমরা আবেদন জানিয়েছি আমপানের টাকা যদি আমরা সাহায্য পাই ছোট ছোট ঠাকুর আমরা তৈরি করছি যে ঠাকুরের দাম আপনি শুনলে 20000 25000 30000 35000 ম্যাক্সিমাম 40000 টাকা ঠাকুর আমাদের অর্ডার 50 যেরকম কিন্তু এরপরে কোনো ঠাকুরের অর্ডার নেই
কারুকাররাও দূর দূর থেকে কৃষ্ণনগর নবদ্বীপ চাবড়া সব জায়গা থেকে এসে আমাদের এখানে কাজ করে তারা সব যেই লকডাউন হয়ে গেল সবাই এক দুজন ছিলেন সব বাড়ি চলে গেলেন কোনো রকম কাজ সব বন্ধ হয়ে গেল আমাদের প্রচুর পরিমাণ ক্ষতি কিন্তু যে পরিমাণ আমরা 7টা দুর্গা করি সেখানে আমরা 30টা দুর্গা করছি
Not just idol makers, artisans who make the spectacular embellishments for idols are also staring at uncertain times. Mintu Ghosh has been associated with the business for generations. At 60, Ghosh says he has not seen such a downturn. High cost of raw materials combined with transport problems mean he has not been able to send his stuff to customers outside Bengal.
অন্যান্য বছরে এই মুহূর্তে আমার স্টক শেষ কিন্তু এই বছরে সারা বছরের প্রোডাকশন মোটামুটি 99.5% পড়ে আছে কিছুই আমার এখনো বিক্রি বাট্টা হয়নি অর্ডার টুকটাক অর্ডার কিছু আছে অর্ডার কিছু হয়নি তা না একদম কিন্তু রানিং খদ্দের মোটামুটি যারা আসেন এই সব জায়গা থেকে তাদের কাছ থেকে কোনো সারা শব্দ নাই
For all these people associated with the industry, there is just one hope and prayer. Let the puja take place somehow, even if it is on a smaller scale.
Artisans here at Kumartuli, the idol hub of Kolkata, depend entirely on this Durga Puja season for their entire year's income. But the COVID pandemic, followed by the economic crisis, has meant that most Durga Puja committees have curtailed their budget to a great extent. And that has had a very direct impact on the livelihoods of these artisans here. With camera person Probir Biswas, Indrajit for India Today in Kolkata.
Welcome back, and the IPL today is all set to begin. It is a repeat of last year's final as Mumbai Indians will be taking on Chennai Super Kings, and Abu Dhabi is hosting the tournament opener, which will mark MS Dhoni's return to competitive cricket.
Mumbai Indians versus Chennai Super Kings. A blockbuster clash to kick off the 13th edition of the IPL. Rohit Sharma on one side and Mahendra Singh Dhoni on the other. Two of the most successful teams in IPL history will battle it out in the tournament opener.
Oh, he's picked this up. Oh, what a hit!
Chennai will be without Suresh Raina and Harbhajan Singh, while defending champions Mumbai will miss the services of Lasith Malinga.
Oh, he's got nothing of this.
Mumbai is one of the most balanced teams and will start as favourites.
Lovely. Oh, goodness gracious, there is some power here tonight.
Of late, the Blue Brigade has dominated the Super Kings as well. In the last edition of the IPL, the two sides met 4 times, and on all the occasions, it was Mumbai who emerged as winners. The two sides last met in the finals of IPL 12, and Mumbai edged out Chennai in a last-over thriller. All eyes will be on MS Dhoni as well, who will return to action after a long gap. With no Raina, Harbhajan and Ruturaj Gaikwad, Dhoni faces a stiff challenge of putting out his best 11 on the field.
Tried to bowl the slower ball, but it's gone back quicker.
Mumbai, on the other hand, is a settled side and have all their bases covered. On paper, the defending champions look the superior side. But over the years, Chennai have shown that they have the potential to deliver with their backs against the wall. Sports Bureau, India Today.
Give over. How's he doing that? Well, you just slice it there.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.